They say when you dance with darkness, you must pay the piper. Monica stood before the mirror in her Lekki penthouse, her hands trembling as she peeled back the silk sleeve of her Gucci dress. The skin underneath wasn't just peeling, it was rotting. She had everything a woman could want: money, beauty, power over men who built empires. But in her dreams, a masked figure chased her through endless corridors, and every morning she woke up screaming. How did the girl who once led morning prayers in Asaba become the woman who destroyed families for designer bags? The answer would cost her everything she had gained, and nearly her life. Before we continue with what happened next, if you're finding this story compelling, consider subscribing. We post new African stories every week, and your support allows us to keep bringing you these deeply interesting stories. Now, back to the story. In the heart of Asaba City, where the Niger River whispers ancient secrets and the red earth remembers every footstep, there lived a young woman named Monica Okafor. She was the kind of daughter every parent prayed for. The first to wake before dawn, lighting the kerosene lamp and sweeping the compound before leading her family in morning devotion. Her voice, clear as the church bell on Sunday mornings, would rise. "Chineke, bless this family, guide our steps today." In their community, Monica's name was synonymous with respect. Market women would smile when she passed, saying, "No agaga nihu, this child will go far." She was hardworking, her hands never idle. After completing her secondary school education, she worked as a teacher in a small private school, earning just 11,000 naira a month. 11,000 naira. In Lagos, that couldn't fuel a luxury car for a week. In Asaba, it could barely feed a family of 5. But Monica didn't complain. She wore her decent clothes with pride, her natural beauty needing no enhancement. Her figure, though modest by her own standards, was shapely and strong from years of walking to school, carrying water from the well, living a simple, honest life. Every morning, she would stand before her students, children from families like hers, struggling but hopeful, and teach them mathematics, English, and something more: the value of integrity. "Remember," she would say, her finger pointing at the chalkboard, "hard work is the only ladder that never breaks beneath you." She believed those words, she lived them. But belief, like rope, can fray when tested by the weight of desire. It was a Saturday afternoon when Monica's world tilted on its axis. She was walking home from the market, a small bag of tomatoes and peppers in hand, when a sleek silver Mercedes-Benz pulled up beside her. The window rolled down and a voice called out, a voice from her childhood. "Monica! Monica Okafor!" Monica squinted against the sun's glare. The woman who emerged from the car was almost unrecognizable. Designer sunglasses, bone-straight hair cascading down her shoulders like a waterfall of silk, gold jewelry glinting at her wrist and neck, perfume so expensive it made the air itself smell like money. Naomi Eze, the wayward girl from their neighborhood, the one parents warned their daughters not to follow. She had left Asaba just 2 years ago with nothing but a small bag and big dreams. Now she looked like she owned the world. "Baby girl," Naomi squealed as she stepped out to hug Monica. "Look at you, still the same humble Monica. Enter the car, let's catch up." Monica hesitated, glancing down at her faded wrapper and slippers, then at the cream leather interior of Naomi's car. But Naomi was already opening the passenger door, her smile wide and welcoming. Monica climbed in. The interior smelled of new leather and wealth. Monica ran her fingers over the dashboard, her reflection staring back at her from polished surfaces. "Naomi, this is your car?" Yes, so Naomi laughed, pulling back onto the road. I came home to launch my house. I just finished building a 4-bedroom bungalow for my parents. Monica's mouth fell open. You built a house in just 2 years? Baby girl, Lagos is different. If you know what to do, money will follow you. Naomi glanced at her friend, her eyes assessing. So what are you doing now? What work? Monica's pride deflated like a punctured tire. I'm teaching in a private school. I earn 11,000 naira. The car swerved slightly as Naomi turned to stare at her. 11,000? Monica, 11,000 naira in this economy? Chai, that money can't even fuel this car once. Shame burned in Monica's chest. She looked out the window, watching Asaba pass by. The same streets, the same faces, the same life she'd always known. Was this all there would ever be? When they arrived at Naomi's family compound, Monica nearly wept. The house stood like a palace among the modest bungalows of their neighborhood. Gleaming white tiles, glass windows that reflected the sky, a generator humming softly in the backyard, constant electricity, a luxury most Asaba homes could only dream of. Naomi, you did all this? Yes, so it's my gift to my parents. Next week we are doing the dedication ceremony. Something broke inside Monica in that moment. All her years of prayers, of teaching, of doing the right thing, what had it earned her? 11,000 naira salary and worn-out slippers. She fell to her knees. Naomi, please, help my life. Her hands gripped Naomi's knees, tears streaming down her face. I will do anything. I can be your house girl, your maid, your bodyguard, anything. Just help me. Naomi looked down at her childhood friend, the girl who once led prayers, now prostrate in the dust, begging for scraps of a better life. She smiled. Stand up, Monica. You don't need to be my maid. She pulled Monica to her feet, wiping the dust from her friend's knees. I will take you to Lagos. You will live with me, and you will make your own money. 3 weeks later, after the house dedication was complete, Naomi drove Monica to Lagos. Victoria Island. The name itself sounded like paradise. Naomi's apartment was everything Monica had never dared to imagine. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, Italian leather sofas, a kitchen with appliances Monica couldn't name. This was where rich people lived. This was power made visible. Welcome to your new life, Naomi said, handing Monica a glass of wine. For 2 days, Monica simply soaked it all in, walking around the apartment in a daze, touching surfaces, staring out at the Lagos skyline like a child seeing magic for the first time. Then Friday night came. Get dressed, Naomi said, tossing a short, tight dress on Monica's bed. Tonight, you begin. Quillock's nightclub was an assault on the senses. Pulsing music, strobe lights, the smell of expensive cologne and champagne, bodies moving in expensive fabrics, men with diamond watches and women whose beauty seemed almost artificial in its perfection. Naomi introduced Monica to her friends, Chioma, Blessing, Zainab, women who lived like queens, their phones constantly buzzing with calls from wealthy men. They looked Monica up and down, assessing her like merchandise. She's fine, Blessing said. Good shape, she'll do well. Then came the men. Chief Emeka, a oil and gas magnate with grey in his beard and gold on every finger. He saw Monica across the room and his eyes lit up with hunger. That's one, he said to Naomi. Who is she? My friend from home, Monica. Bring her. When Chief Emeka took Monica's hand, his palm was soft, hands that had never known hard work. He spoke smoothly, offering her drinks, compliments that made her uncomfortable, promises of things she'd never had. A beautiful woman like you shouldn't be struggling, he said, his hand on her lower back. Let me take care of you. Monica pulled away. I don't do this. His smile faded. Naomi's smile disappeared entirely. In the car ride home, Naomi exploded. Monica, do you know who that man is? Do you know how much money he has? She gripped the steering wheel, her knuckles white. You wanted me to help you? This is how Lagos works. If you want to make it here, you must be willing to sacrifice. You must do what I tell you to do. Monica sat in silence, shame and confusion warring in her chest. The girl who led morning prayers was being asked to become something else entirely. Saturday night, Monica returned to the club. This time, she wore the dress Naomi gave her. Tight, revealing, designed to catch eyes and open wallets. Her makeup was done by Naomi's artist. Her hair was styled. She looked like a different woman. She felt like a different woman. Chief Emeka saw her and smiled like a hunter who'd finally cornered his prey. Now you look like Lagos, he said. That night, Monica crossed a line she'd sworn she never would. She told herself it was just one time, just to get some money, just to help her family, just to stop being poor and powerless and invisible. But one time became two. Two became 10. Chief Emeka was married, he had children, he had a wife who prayed for him every night. But when he was with Monica, he forgot them all. And Monica, she got her first iPhone 16 Pro Max, then bone-straight Brazilian hair worth hundreds of thousands of naira, then a new wardrobe, then invitations to places she'd only seen on TV. 12 months passed like a fever dream. Monica moved into her own apartment in one of Lagos's most expensive neighborhoods. She still worked with Naomi, but now she was her own boss. She traveled, Abuja, Port Harcourt, even Dubai. Rich men called her, flew her places, showered her with money just to be seen with her. Her phone never stopped buzzing. Her bank account never stopped growing. Her conscience never stopped screaming. But she learned to silence it. After 2 years in Lagos, Monica decided she needed an upgrade. She flew to Turkey for a BBL, Brazilian butt lift. When she returned to Nigeria, her curves were no longer just attractive, they were weapon grade. Men stopped in the streets to stare. Other women whispered. Her phone exploded with offers from businessmen across Africa and the Middle East. Monica had become the kind of woman men destroyed their lives to possess. She bought her own car, a Range Rover Sport. She bought land in Asaba. She started building a house for her parents, just like Naomi had done. When she returned to Asaba to oversee the construction, she was no longer the humble girl who'd left. She was a Lagos big girl, dripping in designer everything, speaking with an accent that hadn't existed 2 years ago. And then she saw him, Chidi, her ex-boyfriend, the man she'd left behind when she went to Lagos. He was working from his shop, a small phone repair business, wearing simple clothes, looking tired but honest. When he saw her, his face lit up. Chidi, is that you? She looked him up and down with contempt she'd learned from Lagos women. Chidi. Her voice was cold. You are still here? Still fixing phones? I'm managing, building my business small. Monica, you look different. Are you okay? She laughed, a sound like breaking glass. Am I okay? Chidi, look at me. Look at this car. Look at this body. I'm not in your class anymore. She leaned closer, her perfume overwhelming. You are broke. You are frustrated. You are a small man with small dreams. I told you I was going to Lagos to make it, and I did. Chidi's face fell.
Monica, before you left, I warned you. I told you to avoid Naomi. She was a runs girl even here in Asaba. I told you that life leads nowhere good. Nowhere good? Monica's voice rose. I'm living a life you could never afford. Not in your lifetime. Keep fixing your small phones, Chidi. Let the big girls do big things. She got in her Range Rover and drove away, leaving him standing in the dust. She didn't see the sadness in his eyes. She didn't see the warning he was trying to give. She was too busy admiring her reflection in the rearview mirror.
5 years. That's how long Monica danced on the edge of the bleed. She had everything: money, beauty, power. But there was one thing she didn't have: security. She was getting older. In the Lagos runs game, there was always a younger, prettier girl ready to take your place. The men who showered her with money today could forget her tomorrow. Monica needed insurance. There was one man, Chief Adebayo, who had become her primary sponsor. Married with 3 children, he owned an oil and gas company worth billions. He gave Monica millions of naira monthly, bought her a new house in Lekki, treated her like a queen. But he was still going home to his wife. Monica wanted more. She wanted him to leave his family. She wanted to be Mrs. Adebayo, to secure her future forever. Naomi had once mentioned something in passing. If you want to keep a man forever, there are ways. There are people who know things. Monica flew to Calabar. The native doctor's shrine was hidden in the back streets, away from the churches and mosques that dominated the city. The air inside smelled of herbs and blood and ancient power. I want him to forget his family, Monica said, her voice steady, despite the fear crawling up her spine. I want him to marry me. The old man smiled, his teeth stained red with kola nut. Everything has a price, daughter. He prepared the charm, roots, powder, incantations spoken in a language older than Nigeria itself. He gave her instructions that made her stomach turn, but she followed them. The charm was to be inserted into her body before intimacy. Each time Chief Adebayo made love to her, he would fall deeper under her spell, and it worked.
Chief Adebayo stopped going home. He would stay in their hotel suite for months, forgetting his children's birthdays, ignoring his wife's calls. His business associates noticed the change. His family was falling apart. But Monica had what she wanted, or so she thought. The first sign came through her phone. A viral video. One of her friends from Naomi Seko, Blessing, the beautiful one with the perfect smile, had been found dead in a hotel room in Abuja. The news said it was natural causes. The streets said it was jazz. Blood money ritual gone wrong. Monica's hand trembled as she scrolled through the comments. 2 weeks later, another notification. This time, it was a video being shared across Nigerian social media. A woman, naked except for torn fabric, running through the streets of Lagos, screaming at invisible demons. Monica clicked the video. Her heart stopped. It was Naomi. Naomi, who had introduced her to this life. Naomi, who had driven her from Asaba in that silver Mercedes. Naomi, who had seemed untouchable, was now mad, running through traffic, her expensive hair matted with dirt, her eyes wild and unseeing. Monica called Naomi's number. Disconnected. She found the location from the video and drove there, her hands shaking on the steering wheel. When she arrived, a crowd had gathered. In the center, Naomi was being restrained by police and sympathetic bystanders, still screaming, still fighting invisible enemies. Naomi! Monica pushed through the crowd. Naomi, it's me, Monica!
Naomi's eyes found hers. For a moment, there was recognition, then terror. Run, Naomi screamed. Run, Monica, they're coming. The debt must be paid. Monica called Naomi's parents. They came from Asaba, broken and weeping, and took their daughter home. That night, Monica couldn't sleep. When she finally drifted off, the dream came. A figure in a mask, dark and terrible, chasing her through endless corridors. She ran and ran, but the walls closed in. The figure's hand reached for her throat. She woke up screaming. The sickness started small. Fatigue, headaches, skin irritation. Monica went to the pharmacy, bought malaria drugs, assumed it would pass. It didn't pass. Her skin began to peel, not like sunburn, but deeper, like rot spreading from within. Patches on her arms, her legs, her beautiful face that men had paid millions to see. She went to the best hospitals in Lagos. They ran every test known to modern medicine. "Madam, there is nothing wrong with you," the doctor said, confused. "Your blood work is normal. Your organs are fine. We don't understand what's causing this." But Monica understood. The dreams had intensified. Every night, the masked figure chased her. Every night, she heard Naomi's voice. The debt must be paid. She began visiting churches. Prophets after prophet told her the same thing. "Sister, you must live this life. The man you have used charms to bind, release him, or you will die." "I can't," Monica whispered. "If I release him, I'll have nothing." "Better to have nothing than to have your soul," one prophet said. But Monica was stubborn. She'd sacrificed too much to walk away now. She returned to Calabar, to the native doctor's shrine. "Make it stop," she begged the old man. "The sickness, the dreams, make them stop." The old man looked at her with something like pity. "Daughter, I told you everything has a price. You have caused great suffering. The wife of that man you have bound, she is a woman of God. She prays every day. She helps widows and orphans. She is righteous, and her tears have reached heaven." He leaned closer, his breath smelling of death. "Her prayers are stronger than my charms. A dancer must know when to leave the stage. Release that man, or the stage will collapse beneath you." Monica stumbled out of the shrine into the rain, but still she hesitated. Then her body began to fail completely. The rot spread faster. Her face, her body, the very weapons she'd used to enslave men were betraying her. She could no longer go outside. Men who'd once begged for her attention now ran from her in horror. She visited one more Babalawo, a powerful one in Ibadan. He took one look at her and shook his head. "You must go back to where you tied him and untie him immediately. The wife's prayers have activated a curse on anyone who destroys her home. Every day you delay, you move closer to death." Monica finally broke. She called Chief Adebayo, her voice barely recognizable. "We are done. Don't contact me again." "Monica, what's wrong? Baby, what happened?" She hung up. She dragged herself back to Calabar, her body screaming in pain. The native doctor performed the reversal ritual, breaking the charms, releasing Chief Adebayo from her hold. Within days, Chief Adebayo was back with his family, confused about the last months, but home. Monica waited for the healing. It didn't come. The sickness remained because the damage was deeper than charms. Monica visited one final church, a small, humble building in the heart of Lagos, nothing like the flashy mega churches she'd ignored all these years. The pastor was an old woman, small and wrinkled, but with eyes that saw everything. She looked at Monica and said, "Daughter, your body is sick because your soul is sick. You have destroyed families. You have led men away from their children. You have used your beauty as a weapon. Charms can be broken, but sin requires repentance." "What must I do?" Monica wept, falling to her knees. the same way she'd knelt before Naomi all those years ago in Asaba. You must return to God, serve Him, use what you have to heal the wounds you've caused.
I'm sorry, she whispered. God, I'm so sorry. And for the first time in 7 years, Monica prayed, not the performance prayers of her youth, but the desperate prayer of the truly broken. The healing was not instant, but it was real. She sold the Lekki house, she sold the house Chief Adebayo had bought her, the Range Rover, the designer bags, everything. The money, millions of naira, went to widows and orphans. She started a foundation, quietly, without posting on social media. She opened a skincare and cosmetics shop, not to make women beautiful for men, but to help them feel confident in themselves. She went back to Asaba. Chidi was locking up his shop when she appeared. He stared at her, the scars on her skin, the grey in her hair that hadn't been there before, the humility in her eyes that had replaced the arrogance. Monica? Chidi, I'm sorry. Her voice was different now. No Lagos accent, no pretense. You were right about Naomi, about that life, about everything. He looked at her for a long moment, then nodded slowly. Are you okay now? I'm healing slowly. I'm learning to live again. And the money, the lifestyle. She smiled, a real smile, sad but genuine. I learned something in Lagos, Chidi. Money can buy beauty, but it can't buy peace. It can buy pleasure, but it can't buy purpose. I was rich, but I was dying. Now I am alive.
3 years later, Monica runs her small business in Lagos and splits her time between the city and Asaba. Her shop is modest but successful. She hires women who've left the run's life, giving them a second chance. She sponsors orphans' education. Every Sunday, she's in that small church, helping where she can. The scars on her skin never fully healed. When people ask about them, she tells the truth. She is a reminder to herself of the price of greed and to others of what happens when you dance with darkness. Naomi recovered partially, enough to come back to herself, though she's never been the same. She lives quietly in Asaba now, avoiding mirrors, jumping at shadows. Sometimes she and Monica sit together, two survivors of a war they both lost. Most of their friends from the Lagos Run circuit are gone, dead from botched rituals, mad from unpaid spiritual debts, or simply vanished, their social media accounts frozen in time with their last glamorous post. Chief Adebayo is still with his wife. They are working on their marriage. He doesn't remember much about Monica. The charms had clouded his mind, but he knows he lost years with his children, and he's trying to make it right. Monica often thinks about that day she knelt before Naomi, begging for help. If she could go back, she would tell her younger self, the money will come, the clothes will come, the beauty will come, but none of it will fill the emptiness. And when the bill comes due, and it always does, you'll wish you'd stayed poor and pure.
There's an old Igbo saying, Onye na-agba egwu ga-ama mgbe o kwesịrị ịpụ n'elu ogbo. A dancer must know when to leave the stage. Monica learnt it too late, but she learnt it nonetheless. The stage of Lagos big girls is glittering and seductive. It promises everything and delivers death. The wise woman dances for a moment, takes her bow, and exits before the stage collapses. The foolish woman dances until the music stops, and then she discovers the stage was built on bones. Monica dances differently now, for orphans at birthday parties, teaching them that true beauty comes from kindness.
For widows are church programs, showing them that dignity isn't found in designer bags. Her phone doesn't buzz anymore with calls from rich men. Instead, it rings with voices calling her auntie, thanking her for school fees paid, for businesses started, for lives changed. And at night, when she lays her head down, the masked figure is gone. She sleeps in peace. This is the story of Monica, a cautionary tale told across Nigerian communities, whispered in beauty salons, shared in churches, a warning to young women who dream of Lagos. The moral: the fastest road to riches is often the fastest road to ruin. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel for more African folk tales that teach, inspire, and remind us of who we are and who we must never become. Until then, remember, not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes it's just a trap wrapped in designer packaging. Drop a comment below and tell us, where are you watching from? And have you seen the Lagos runs culture in your city? May we all have the wisdom to leave the stage before it collapses. Ode Egu.